The only thing better than an orc is 100 orcs. So join me in this video where I build what might be the biggest orc mob ever assembled on YouTube, with every model being unique. It is time to return to the Big War Chronicles, as these are still a bit lacking at this point. Right now we have only one goblin regiment and a few army fillers, so it's more like a small war note than a Big War Chronicle. Let's rectify that. To truly enhance this army we need a massive infusion of orc power. After all, it's orcs and goblins, not the other way around. I could take an easy route and assemble a standard regiment of 20 unique orcs, but that would be too simple and a bit repetitive of my first Big War Chronicles video. Instead, I'm taking the big in Big War Chronicles literally by creating a colossal regiment of 100 unique orcs. The key word here is unique. Simply assembling 100 orcs is not the biggest challenge, although the massive amount of time required would be significant. But finding 100 unique orc sculpts makes this project much more interesting. To me, orcs and goblins are a disorganized mess. A huge blob of greenskins, each a troublemaker on their own. But together they form a scary, if not very bright force to be reckoned with. Think of angry villagers with pitchforks and torches, only meaner and greener. I've always had issues with the look of orc and goblin regiments in rulebooks or promotional pictures, as they often appear too uniform for my taste. In the spirit of the aforementioned disorganized mess, any unifying factor works against that very concept. I'd even argue that scale, proportions and equipment don't really matter at all. In fact, I believe that a huge variety in these aspects can enhance the ragtag look of any orc army. These are simply not your shining knights unified under one banner. But there are still a few factors that need to be uniform, such as the base decoration. Just like my previous Big War Chronicles episodes, I like to use MDF bases. You could call it an acquired taste, as I was always a proponent of the standard GW style plastic base, which I still prefer for character models. However, when used with movement trays, I learned to prefer the smooth, seamless look of MDF bases, which are also a bit more cost effective. These specific products are from Cromlech, who kindly provided me with an affiliate code for you to use. By entering the coupon code CHROM48708 at checkout, you receive a small discount, and I receive a small kickback. Each base is outfitted with a bit of bark that makes excellent in-scale rocks. For the bases in the front row of my regiments, I use sharpened chopstick pieces to act as spikes. I plan to have 6 regiments with 20 units each in the future. This means I would still be 20 models short even after this project, but that's where unit fillers come into play. Now let's build a few orcs. I use miniatures made from various materials: plastic, metal and resin. Each of these materials requires a slightly different approach for building. For example, resin cast miniatures should be thoroughly cleaned before assembling and painting, as they sometimes have mold release residue on them. The same can be true for metal miniatures, so giving them a short bath is also a good idea. Additionally, I had a few older Games Workshop miniatures I bought on eBay. However, these required some preliminary work since they were already painted. By giving them a bath and denatured alcohol, you can easily clean the paint of the miniatures. And after that, they are ready for a bit of modification. Although I had many unique miniatures, a few needed some distinguishing elements. For this, I bought a bunch of resin bits from Spellcrow and Cromlech. Both companies produce very high quality bits that fit perfectly with Games Workshop's orcs and goblin sculpts. I also used my bits box to add more variety to the models. This can be a simple head swap or adding an armor piece here and there. It also helps to switch up the armaments of these models to blend the different styles together, such as outfitting a 3D printed miniatures with a hand sculpted shield or vice versa. But don't stop there. Let your imagination run wild with the possibilities. With all the different materials involved, I've come to appreciate two-component adhesives more and more. Similar to superglue, this stuff can bond together almost everything, though the resulting bond is much more stress resistant. Now let me highlight the incredible creations from the hobby community on Instagram for their own Big War Chronicles. You can discover the featured profiles in the video description. If you admire their work, please visit their profiles and mention that Matt from LinuxRAM sent you. And please feel free to join the Big War Chronicles yourself by sharing your Orc and Goblin projects using the hashtag Big War Chronicles over on Instagram. After I added all the miniatures to their bases, I finished building this massive amount of orcs by decorating the bases, adding texture paste and fine turf. I also gave them a unifying coat of primer to prepare the painting step. This will happen in a later video though, where I'll try to paint all these in 24 hours. That way I can try out some speed painting techniques, so if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to not miss the follow-up. Let me wrap up this video by showcasing all the miniature companies I used to build this massive orc regiment. Links to each company can be found in the description below, so if you like what you see, feel free to check them out. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to like and share it. If you'd like to join the Big War Chronicles yourself, use the hashtag Big War Chronicles over on Instagram. I'd love to showcase your work in my next episode. If you want to support the creation of more videos like this one, consider becoming a patron on Patreon. Patrons get access to behind-the-scenes content and early ad-free versions of these videos. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, farewell, fellow adventurers.